Costa Rica, we're not happy with you right now.
Nope, we're not.
You're beautiful. You have some of the best nature in the world, and we were looking so forward to doing a tourism project. And really, I'm sorry, a crab just went scuttling past over there. We were looking so forward to doing great things in Costa Rica, and wham! You slam everybody with this crazy mandate. Costa Rica, have you lost your ever-loving mind?
Well, yes, it has been bothering. Huh? We still have hope that they will be pushback. So, yeah, so it doesn't go too far. So there's some adaptation.
We came to Costa Rica. We chose Costa Rica for several reasons. Number one, it's a beautiful country, and it's a very healing place. After Morocco, we needed, we needed something, so we came here. But one of the things that we were both looking for was to escape from some of the craziness that we see in the rest of the world. Now, I want to say this right out of the gate. If somebody wants to get the jab, by all means, get the jab. This is not an anti video by any means. People have their own reasons. Michelle may be a bit more against things than I am, but I just can't get the period. I have had reactions before. I've got pre-existing health conditions. I've been told by a doctor it's probably not in my best interest to get a vaccine of any sort. Somewhere up there, I can link to another video up here that kind of gives a very good explanation of why it would not be good for me. I have many of the same symptoms this guy's already describing, and I can't take the risk. So, but I want to make it clear, all the haters out there, all the people who get their knickers in a knot about those of us who make different choices, just go do it on somebody else's video, because you're not going to make a very good point on this one, because that's not what this is about. To be told that we have to do it, we have to have this medical procedure done on our body, or we're going to be second-class citizens and we're going to be persona non grata in any country. That does not set well with us, and it does not set well for many people, whether they're tourists or people wanting to come into the country. I've talked to probably, because I do have a bit of a social media platform, not just YouTube, but other stuff. I've talked to probably several hundred people over the course of this, and by far, the people who are upset by these mandates outweigh the people who want them. So Costa Rica, I think you shot yourself in the foot. But we'll see. In the video that I put in the card up at the top, the guy said, where there's a risk, there needs to be choice. And that's my position,
Soit il
Can I do this without throwing my phone in the creek? There they are. Oh, there's a cat over there too somewhere.
Where is it?
Guys, come back. They love playing out here in the woods. This has created a panic situation for Michelle and me, quite frankly. When we first heard about it, we went into a scramble. We figured that this is a global push for many nations, not just Costa Rica. Costa Rica's just trying to fit in with the cool kids, I guess. But Michelle saw things in France, which is his home country, in case you didn't notice that lovely French accent.
Of course I'm French. What do you think I got this atrocious accent.
Silly. He saw things in France that he will never forget. His family has been subjected to things in France that he will never forget. And it all started with what seemed like harmless mandates. It was movement restrictions and buy-sell restrictions and things that people just kind of let go. And once the government saw they could get away with it, they took more and more and more freedoms away. And now, of course, it was shot down, but France was actually trying to criminalize and make it a crime to not comply.
You know, recently there has been a law passed to extend the requirement of F-pass. So, but really, it has been pushed for many months, even after the French election. So, can you imagine the situation in France at the moment of the election? The only one that will be able to go to vote will be the one that has been or have been tested 2 or 3 days before. So you can imagine the number of people.
I didn't even think about that. Testing. Yeah. I mean,
the number of people that will need to go be tested at the same time, the same day, just before the election.
Oh.
So the only people that will be able to vote will be tested in the time frame required, and of course it will push the remote voting. So it's remote voting, but it will have never been done in France, at least with this scale. Pretty sure.
Costa Rica, this is our objection to your lovely little mandates. It's not that we can't go to your bars and your restaurants and your churches and whatnot. I mean, you say you'll still let us go to your supermarkets and banks and pharmacies? That's about all I ever go to. That's not it. It's just that if you get away with this, you're going to want more and more and more of the freedoms of your people. And I think at some point somebody needs to draw a line in the sand and say, nope, not happening.
Well, you know what? There is also the perspective of entrepreneur. If I were to invest into a bar, a restaurant, it means I can't only employ, I will need to force on Costa Rican employees to be.
You have to do the work of the police. You have to become the police. The police.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine just? And then you also need to check. You need to check your customer. Right? So if he doesn't have his F-pass, will have the responsibility. Will the entrepreneur, the business owner, have the responsibility of that infraction and get fined for it?
Here's the thing that they're doing. They backpedaled a little bit, because when the thing first came out, it was all starting December 1st, and the president said, you have no excuse. Hail Hitler. But they've changed it, because I think that the tourism ministry and some of the business organizations kind of all rallied together and said, whoa, you are cutting into our livelihood here, sir. Let's talk about this. So now they've extended it to, like in December, through the month of December until January the 8th, I think. Go to Tico Times, there's an article there. I'll link it in the description. But they're doing this experiment, I think, where businesses who allow only clients can be at full capacity. Businesses who will allow everybody in can only operate at 50% capacity. I think this would be a great time to go show support for those businesses that allow everyone in, even if they're having to operate at reduced capacity, because that might be very telling. You know, I've been of the opinion since this all started that if Costa Rica would go the opposite way and welcome everyone, regardless of health passport status, and just stick to common sense measures that they're already doing. I mean, Costa Rica's doing really better than anywhere we've traveled as far as making sure people do hand washing and distancing, and it's not perfect, but it's working some because we're not all dead. I think that any pressure from the IMF, which is who Costa Rica owes a lot of money to, and I also think IMF may have something to do with these mandates. I think they may have put pressure on Costa Rica to implement this. I think there would be such an influx of tourists and people coming in, investors coming in seeking residency, if they were guaranteed a haven here from mandates. I think Costa Rica would pay off that debt in a year or two and probably have to build a wall to keep moneyed Canadian, American, European investors out, because people would flood here. People would flock. I know dozens of people, and this is not hyperbole. I literally know Canadians, I know Americans, I know a lot of people who were intending to move to Costa Rica after things got so twisted in their homeland, and they're not coming now. And some of these people had money to spend here. Costa Rica, come on, what are you thinking? Our knee-jerk reaction was to kind of go into a scramble. We were looking at Nicaragua, we were looking at Brazil, we were looking at Mexico, we were looking at where can we go? Where can we go to escape this insanity? And there are places to go. But Nicaragua's doing some other goofy stuff with their tourist visa. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with their Nicaragua's not going the right way right now, I don't think.
Yes, reduced the tourist visa from 90 to 30 days.
30 days, yeah. That's what we heard. And that's not going to work for us. And we couldn't take our bus to Nicaragua because they have some law about the age of a vehicle. And we looked at Panama. Panama's got mandates, but so far not like Costa Rica. Theirs are mostly about getting into the country. Not once you get there, it's better. But guys, we don't want to leave. We're gonna dig in and fight for this. There do seem to be some measures coming up. There's a pushback in Costa Rica. So as long as there's a pushback, there's hope. And we still want to purchase this land. We still want to go forward with all the things we talked about. This has been so hard for Michelle and me. It's been devastating. It's forced us to consider decisions that we're not ready to consider yet. You know, think about doing things we're not ready to do. And it's pressure that neither he nor I appreciate or like. And we hope it's just a brain fart on the part of Costa Rica and not an indicator of what's going to be the future. It's hard. It's really hard. It's when you face these kind of things. I think our biggest fear, like I was saying earlier, it's not that we can't go to a bar or a restaurant or a church or whatever. It's that they're going to keep going with these mandates. You give an inch, they take a mile kind of thing, and end up restricting travel and locking the borders down to everyone but people with a certain health passport. And if that happens, and Michelle and I have bought property here and we've made our home here, then we're going to be locked out of the country away from our home and can't even get back to sell it, which, I mean, we have an SRL in place, but I mean, just imagine being locked out from your home. And what if we're doing separate border runs and we get separated? Then what happens? He's in one country, I'm in another, neither can, I mean, oh my God, it's just nightmare. It's the stuff of nightmares. That's what bothers us. Yes, it's all if, what if, but you're talking to people who've seen this progress before, so it doesn't seem to be as fantastical a situation as it is to some people who have not seen their homeland crumble to this stuff. Europe is way different from the US. There's things happening there that they're not getting reported and people don't know about, and it's something we really prefer if Costa Rica would take a stand against.